After Michael is done killing Mr. Garrett, Janet can no longer hear him on the walkie-talkie. She decides to give up and go back to her post down the hall. In the next additional scene, Jill is on the telephone and Jimmy walks down trying to sneak past them, and she tells Jimmy to leave Lori alone. Jimmy goes into the room and wakes Lori up, and he tells her that Michael has been killed and that the police caught him and that it's all over. She has nothing to worry about. But Lori, knowing that Michael might still be alive, fears for her life and tells Jimmy that she needs his help and she needs to get out of here. And she struggles and panics, and Jimmy tells her to calm down and brings in the other nurses, Jill, Janet, and Mrs. Alves, and gets Dr. Misher to put her to sleep and calm her down. Of course, one of the reasons why this scene was cut out originally from the original cut was that not only was it because it slowed the film down, but the director was trying to establish a connection and a relationship between Jamie Lee Curtis, Lori, and Lance Guest, who played Jimmy. In the scene, Michael cuts the power and the emergency generators kick in.
Emergency generator just kicked in. It's okay.
I have to talk to Mr. Garrett.
Mrs. Alves said, "Somebody will have to talk to Mr. Garrett about this," and Jill responds, "Or Bud." Okay, next. Back to the theatrical cut. After Dr. Loomis says, "We must assume Michael Myers is still alive," Police Officer Hunt says, "Everybody goes back out. I want to sweep from the bypass through Chestnut from south. Every house, every corner, every backyard." And the guy says, "Okay." Dr. Loomis replies, "Thank you." Going out through the door, in this next additional scene that comes right after it, Hunt says, "I knew Annie Brackett. Other kids too. Now maybe there's another boy on that slab dead in there because of him. So you don't have to thank me, Doctor. You just help me find him and stop him. Will you have any more bright ideas?" And Dr. Loomis replies, "Well, if he was injured, maybe he would try to go home." Okay, back to theatrical footage. Okay, now, next additional scene. This scene opens up extended, originally how it opened up, with Janet walking down the hall and talking to Karen before it
really creepy?
took into before it played into gear. It opened up with Janet talking to Karen. Karen played, of course, by Pamela Susan Shoop, and Janet
I don't think it's funny. It's just real creepy.
played by the other cast member, tells Karen how freaked out she is.
It's easy for you to say.
And that how you don't believe what Lori is saying about how Michael Myers is still coming to get her, and how everything is messed up, how things are so messed up on Halloween night. She is so freaked out of her head. It was cut from the film not just because it was slowing down, but it would have broken the suspense of the film. Because the reason why is because exactly this.
Gotta go. See you later.
That shot there comes right in here and connects right here to the theatrical cut. Right there. And the reason why they cut it was because as soon as the bell, that created the suspense right there for the original cut. So then you don't want them talking to each other right there in that moment at that scene, because they just wanted one nurse there in the hallway and one bell. So That's why that extended footage there didn't originally exist before for a purpose. But it was still good to see Janet talk to Karen and have Janet all freaked out of her head, worrying and saying that you didn't see how Laurie was screaming about how Michael Myers was coming to get her. Okay, now Karen goes into the room and gets a big surprise from Bud, played by Leo Rossi.
Oh, you idiot!
Okay, Bud goes, oh shit, and Karen says, what are you doing? And Bud says, you could have broken it. Karen says, I wish I had. I also could have used these on you. He goes, what an asshole. Bud says, happy Halloween. Karen replies, Bud, you are the biggest jerk. And Bud replies, yeah, but you love me. In this scene, Bud wants to go down to the therm room where the hot tub is, but Karen says, I cannot leave the kids, Bud.
Everybody's all weirded out tonight. All this Michael Myers crap. I just want...
And Bud, even though Bud knows that everybody's all panicked out about all the Michael Myers crap, like he said, he just wants to be with Karen, but there's just one problem. Michael Myers is in the hospital. So, as we watch it, he tells Karen it's 3 floors down. Now, here's the extended footage and dialogue.
Everybody's in the East Wing, right?
Yeah?
All weirded out, right?
He says, he tells her in the extended footage and dialogue, he said, it's just a few words and a shot and a few words of extended footage and dialogue that were thrown in there and then taken back out. Then the theatrical cut resumes. Not too much, just a little bit. It was trimmed though, just for the TV version.
You're wasting time.
And then the widescreen resumes. Not much of a big deal, but it was interesting. Okay, now Laurie has a dream before the hot tub scene. This is the TV version with alternate dialogue. In it, she talks to Michael while she's visiting him in the sanitarium.
Please don't be angry with me. I'm your sister. Please don't be angry with me. Please don't hurt me, Michael. Please don't hurt me.
Laurie wakes up after remembering visiting Michael in the sanitarium from her dream. Okay, here we go. Here are the widescreen theatrical hall shots with the music from the theatrical cut and Laurie with the same music but a different dream and different dialogue. There's Laurie with her mother talking to her in the dream in the back memory, telling her, I told you I'm not your mother, which was Mrs. Strahd. And you could see her visiting her brother Michael in the hospital in the theatrical cut. But in the theatrical cut, she does not say, Michael, I'm your sister. It only is silent. Then she wakes up and she realizes that there's something there, or maybe there's nothing there, or you don't know what to think. Halloween, the next Halloween 2 extended footage scene involves the hot tub scene.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Karen and Bud are now downstairs in the hot tub. This is additional footage. In this extended footage here, she says, I just have to change. She goes in and he looks at her, and then it connects right there to the theatrical cut, the footage. and that's how it looks. And so on, the movie plays out just like that. And it goes on from there. You get to see a full body shot of Pamela Susan Shoop's body.